Hey, Hammy here. Back for section 2 of chapter 4. In this section we'll split it into several different videos here to try to keep them shorter for you. The first one here we're just going to kind of look at an overview of photosynthesis and what's happening and where it's happening in the plant. The process of photosynthesis is split into two stages. Okay? Split into two stages, what we call the light reactions and then the Calvin cycle. So the first one is the light reactions. Okay? The light reactions are going to be using the water that the plant is taking up through its roots, up through its stem, out to the leaves where photosynthesis is happening. And light, obviously from the light from the sun that's hitting the plant, is going to be taken into the leaf as well. They're going to take that light from the sun and they're going to put it into two molecules over here called ATP, which we discussed in the previous video, and also an electron carrier called NADPH. And you can see released from this reaction over here is a molecule of O2, or oxygen gas, will be released back into the air. The second part of photosynthesis, or the second step, is the Calvin cycle, named after the man who used radioactive carbon and actually discovered the process that carbon goes through. So we'll look at that in more detail later in the next video. The Calvin cycle, like I said, is going to take carbon dioxide from the air, plus the energy from NADPH and ATP in the light reactions, and it's going to put that energy into the carbon dioxide and give off an end product is a sugar that we know as glucose, C6H12O6. This is all taking place in the chloroplast, which is found in the cells of the leaf, and in some plants the stem, but mostly we think of photosynthesis as occurring in the leaves. The plants, algae, and there are some cyanobacteria. The chloroplast is going to be the site of photosynthesis. It's going to contain a green pigment, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment that's going to absorb like reds and blues wavelengths, but not use green. So green is going to be reflected back to our eyes, and that's why we call them green plants. We see the leaves as green. The structure of a chloroplast, if we zoom in on it, and some things to label in your notes. First of all, if it has a double membrane, so number 1 here we'll label as the outer membrane. And then right beneath that, number 2, we'll label the inner membrane. And as we work our way around, kind of the clear jelly-like fluid in here full of enzymes and water and that kind of stuff, number 5 here would be the stroma. And number 3 looks like a little stack of pancakes. That stack is called a granum. Now that is singular. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grana in this chloroplast. Singular, though, is just granum. And one of those pancakes, one of those little membranes right here, has a name, number 4 here, called a thylakoid. The thylakoid. And that's where the majority of either in the membrane or inside that membrane here is where a majority of photosynthesis will be taking place. But we'll look at that in a later video.